Hi, good morning. My name is Jose Arzuaga, and today we'll be talking about location strategies. Location is perhaps the second most important factor in business success, only after the business itself. The reason for this is that it determines most, if not all, available resources and costs for business. If a location is wrong, it does not really matter how good the business is, it will most likely fail at worst, and it will struggle to survive at best. This is for several reasons. First of all, location determines fixed costs that are difficult to modify since they are long-term decisions. There are many factors that could have potential effects at the country level, such as political risks, availability of high-quality labor, costs, available supplies, and others. At the regional level, such as regulations, fiscal policies, proximity to clients and materials, and fixed costs as utilities, rent, and others and municipal, such as population density, demographics, access to transportation, costs, etc. Researchers have also pointed out that the top five major factors identified that may strongly influence international location decisions were infrastructure, labor characteristics, government and political factors, and economic factors. This was determined by Mayer and Estrin in 2003. Authors also determine sub-factors such as modes of transportation and the reliability, wages, worker motivation, and stability of government. The clearest example I have of this is the location of the restaurant chains I work for, and the success of each location within the Toronto area. Of course, location had a big influence on this, and you'll see it in a bit. Okay. When looking at the latest map of the city of Toronto ethnic origin that was from 2016, of course, there's not many changes that are done as like quickly, and generally these clusters tend to be very stable. And also overlapping that with the most successful locations in terms of sales, one can see the full picture. So I work in a Chinese restaurant that focuses on traditional street food, rouge which is a staple in China but rarely seen in Toronto. There are about 140 locations in Beijing and other major cities of China. The focus of opening the first location in Toronto was to capitalize on the high percentage of Chinese population in different clusters of the city, and this solved two of the problems at the regional level and the municipal level, which was the availability of high-quality labor from an ever-growing availability of food service workers that are knowledgeable of the culture and language, and proximity to clients and materials. Uh, when going deeper, one can see that the location selection within the city of Toronto, there are a lot of benefits associated to it, since there is infrastructure and most and quality of transportation. The three locations within the city, which you can see here in the O, are close to major roads and highways that can easily provide transportation of supplies and services as well as ease for customers, while being close enough to rural Ontario farmland and access to with its access to food ingredients. So then you can see the O's. Those are the restaurant locations, which are going to be in Eden Center, Fairview Mall, and Scarborough Town Center. And the X's on the map represent suppliers, as you can see here. And this is essentially only the largest meat supplier of the company, Libertor Pork. And the arrows that you can see here across the map are the major roads and highways which give access to those locations. So as you can see here, Highway 401, which is the biggest highway in Canada, of course, is going to give access to about two or three locations across the GTA, access to major roadways. So this strategic location decision has driven the ease of operations as well as the success of the business. Another thing that is present here is the clustering characteristic of restaurants, which all tend to be in close proximity to each other. So in the case of this chain, they only like mostly have locations with food courts, and they only have stores with separate seating in Fairview Mall here, and in First Marketplace, which is of course market, which both have a high volume of ethnic Chinese origin and would be interested in going to that specific restaurant and not considering other options such as in the food court. Broadening the analysis and including service location strategy, one can conclude that upper management, particularly those responsible of choosing the location for the restaurants, did consider the various factors in the strategy for choosing the appropriate space. For example, purchasing power of potential customers. The food is reasonably priced and the location is close to zones in which the median household income is higher than average. The service and image are very compatible with customer demographics, and even if the competition is relatively high, their quality relative to the price is pretty low and it is not as unique. And these restaurants, in average, three other, in the most vicinity that actively compete with the chain, have an average rating between 3 and 4 stars on Google Maps, which is not that very good. And for comparison, the restaurants' locations, the chains that I work for, have an average rating above 4.5 and usually stay at around 4.7. So the physical characteristics of the restaurant are also attractive and they're very differentiated from any other concepts of other restaurants that have locations within the vicinity. And the policies are geared towards high quality in service and food, and staff and management are rewarded for maintaining high quality of service and their high expectations. And likewise, if they're not fulfilled, they are usually reprimands. So the main takeaway from this is the fact that firms need to give significant care and thought to the places they choose to locate their businesses in, since that choice has a significant effect on a lot of factors that cannot be easily controlled by the business. So it's as soon as you fix a location, you're fixing your utilities, you're fixing your rent, you're fixing your customers, and you cannot really work more than what you can really control. So essentially, you need to focus very much on which location you choose. And at the end, as the saying goes, you wouldn't sell sand on a beach. So be very thoughtful of which locations you choose for your business, since they are at least 50% of your strategy. Thank you and have a great day.